episode 16, the Thanatos Guild gave us the conclusion of one character in the most meaningful way possible. A way that I really hoped they would have done, and they actually pulled it through, and for that, I am truly proud. Hey guys, my name is Jobi-Wan and welcome to the channel in a galaxy far, far away. If you're finding me for the first time, I do weekly Star Wars, Marvel, and DC videos. Hit that subscribe button with notifications on to be on alert for future videos. So the plot of the episode, these Malcolm Merlyn followers, or the Thanatos Guild, are after a map that Merlyn had left. In order to access it, they need Thea, specifically her blood, which revealed a map to 3 new Lazarus pits. Now, if you remember, the Lazarus pit in Nanda Parbat was destroyed by Nyssa in Season 4. It was the show's way of eliminating the idea of dipping anyone else in the pool should they die in the future. But in the comics, there is more than one Lazarus pit, so instead of Thea leaving and living happily ever after with Roy, she decides to go with Nyssa to destroy the Lazarus pits. And then Roy decides to come along as well. I really wanted Thea to leave with a purpose. Like, I didn't want her to leave and do nothing while she's off screen. Her destroying Lazarus pits and getting into some other trouble along the way was perfect. I also predicted that Thea and Nyssa would go and form the new League of Assassins and use it as a force for good and rename it the League of Shadows, but I'm totally fine with what we got. This episode actually makes me hate Roy's departure a lot more because he just left and wasn't given any storyline after that. He basically retired as a vigilante when he dropped the grid. My hope would for him to obviously still be Arsenal, or at least adapt the Red Arrow name, since Arsenal was his code name in Star City, and actually do some vigilante work in a new city. And then, depending on Colton Haynes' schedule, have him back for several episodes, either the crossover episode or an episode or two, similar to Nyssa's role in the past 2 seasons. But I think the reason Colton Haynes left was because he was dealing with some personal issues with himself, so I don't think that we would have seen Roy a lot more if they wanted to, but either way, I just wish that Roy was given something to do off screen, and, we just have that idea that he's still doing that while he's not actually in Star City. But Thea's departure actually mirrors Roy's departure a little bit. They're on the side of the road. He has his car. They're about to ride off into the night. And then there's this one line of dialogue that actually goes back to the pilot episode when Thea and Oliver reunited.
I'm gonna miss you so much.
You'll be with me the whole time. I missed you so much.
You were with me the whole time.
Also, we learned that Oliver loves being the Green Arrow. It enables the best version of himself, and Thea is trying to find that version too. So she is using the Speedy identity to find the best version of herself. But I think Oliver loving the Green Arrow identity was actually addressed in a past season. So for him to say that he doesn't know why he can't give up the Green Arrow mantle is complete bullshit on the writer's part. It wasn't a complex answer we were getting to. It was something very simple, a trope even in comic book and drama shows as well. A cop drama could use a badge to symbolize a character's better side rather than a hood or mask in a superhero drama. But episode 17 looks like Diggle and Oliver will be physically fighting for the mantle. I'm sure there will be words thrown at each other before the actual throwing hands. I just find it funny and a bit immature that they're fighting over the hood. Sure, we haven't seen the episode in its full context yet, so there's probably more that leads to this moment, but still, I'm betting that this fight would be pretty pointless, but I could be wrong. And when I say immature, I really mean that they seem to be fighting because that's the best way to beef up the tension between these two characters. They're just fighting for fighting's sake. You look at Civil War, the airport fight, Cap and his team are trying to escape to Siberia with Bucky. Iron Man and his team won't allow it because Tony is on the clock, plus all the shit with the Sokovia Accords. They believe that the Winter Soldier bombed the UN, etc., etc. On top of that, you have the solo fight between Tony and Cap. Cap knew Bucky killed Tony's parents. Tony's pretty pissed at Cap for knowing and not telling him, plus he's trying to protect the man who murdered his mother and father. You get what I'm saying. There's a lot of substance to their conflict that results in a fight. It's not as two-dimensional as let's fight over this mantle because that would definitely split us apart kind of thing, And to get a little further than that, Diggle isn't an archer. It would be different if he was an archer because there would be a level of respect, like, yes, you are as skilled as I am, but you can't be the Green Arrow, that's my thing. Diggle would be like, so you think you're better than me? I'm tired of you always pushing me to the side, etc., etc. Then they can fight. I haven't read the Flash comics that are out right now. I know there's a storyline coming up that is called Flash War, or maybe it's already going right now, where Barry and Wally are supposed to be fighting. So I'd imagine if Diggle and Oliver's conflict matched Barry and Wally's conflict in the comics, it would be better. And again, I haven't read the Flash comics yet, so I don't know what the substance of their beef is, or if they've gotten to it yet. I'm pretty sure they have, though. I'm using them as an example for my point about having two characters with the same skill set and having them fight is a lot better than having a character who isn't on the same skill set as the other, because there's a clear and obvious answer on who should be the Green Arrow. But yeah, the promo for the next episode looks pretty dumb. The stare is what kills me the most. Also, Curtis is going on a date with a cop who apparently will have a firm anti-vigilante stance based on the description for the next episode. So that is that. That sounds fun. On a serious note, I like that we're taking a break from the new Team Arrow beef. Episodes 9 and 14 did a good job of creating this new atmosphere that Team Arrow has truly been divided. I'd expect them to get back together by the end of the season, but the damage has cut too deep, so it'd be awkward if they got back together. But now we have two separate storylines, a deeper focus on Oliver and his storyline, and the new Team Arrow storyline where they seem to be looking into Dragon's operations and learning who else is on his payroll, which they do find out in this episode that Hill is pushing Dragon's vertigo pills. I'm going to assume that these two separate storylines will continue to be separate storylines until like episode 19 and 20. That's when they should all converge and focus on defeating Dragon before he has complete control over the city. So Easter eggs, really only 2 Easter eggs that I spotted. I believe Tigressa was supposed to be a reference to Tigress in the comics, and Roy's hat is a callback to the New 52 look, and it's the exact logo on his hat. I didn't think they would have gone so far. I didn't even catch it at first, so I'm truly impressed. But what do you guys think? Did you like this episode? And will you miss Thea? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for future Arrowverse videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and other than that, my name is Jobi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you, and have a marvelous day from the LA to the DC.